What's good? Like I told y'all, we better jump right into it. It's only right that I came suited for the occasion. You know, I'm here with my bro, my man, Frank Miles, so Franklin and Anthony.
Yes, that's it. I'm gonna undo this button so I can be comfortable.
Oh,
They say it's no.
we in your home. You know, thank
Okay,
you for inviting me to your home.
Well, all right. So they say if you go unbutton one, you might as well unbutton two, so you can just be fully comfortable. That's just what I do.
Whatever works, you know what I'm saying? We're here to make it do what it do
Yes,
and
sir.
go behind the brand of Franklin and Anthony. So give everybody a little bit of background about you. You know, I know a little bit, but I don't know too much. So tell me a little bit about you and how the emerging of Franklin and Anthony started.
Okay. So you know me actually a lot better than most people do, especially in the fashion world.
Right.
So there was a point in time when I was hosting fashion shows and styling in the background and doing just anything from media to just lights to everything, just working the fashion world. And that was the time I was rapping, right?
Right.
So I was trying to find a way to jump into the rap game from a different angle that nobody was really doing at the time. Like Jadena wasn't in it. Joey Badass wasn't really just in there. A$AP Rocky was still fresh, but he wasn't just like working the fashion world like that, right?
Right.
So my plan was, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start working in there. So I was networking and jumping in, volunteering, working as much as I could. I was your assistant stylist before for
We did at
Essie
the Essie show.
Esnavore. Yes, long time ago.
Yeah.
So from doing those type of things, a stylist from Fort Worth reached out to me. His name was Keon Anthony. And he said, hey, what do you think about starting a pursuit company? And I knew that I needed to go to the next level with fashion in regards to my own personal dress. So I was like, so that means we're gonna get suits for free. So
Yeah, he was already dapper then.
Yeah, nah. I was still working, trying to get to that level. But I feel like I've gotten there, but I got there because of this lane. So we jumped in, we started working under another suit company in Dallas. And I stayed there for about a year. When I went in, I told them, hey, I'm just coming in to learn. Like, that's my whole process. I'm just coming in to learn, but I am gonna start my own business. And I was branding my business while in there, but I was using it under their umbrella. And we had an understanding, so it was fine. But we built up, and when I felt like we got to a point to where Franklin and Anthony can move on as its own entity, then separated from that company. I still appreciate Derek Robinson for everything he did to help me. And so that's how we got started with Franklin and Anthony officially.
So this is a complete design house, y'all. Y'all get the inside scoop later, but it's like magnificent on a whole nother level of GQ and then some. Like, it's just so suave.
I appreciate that.
Like, when you come in here, like I said, I had to come suited, like for the occasion.
And I didn't even wear a suit.
It's okay though. They see you 24/7 with a suit, so you know what I'm saying? But like, so when people come in here, I know y'all probably got really busy prom season traditionally. So what is a Franklin Anthony experience walking in here?
So, well, just to start off prom wise, this year we're not really that busy just because there wasn't a lot of proms all over as it normally because of the pandemic, as everybody knows, just kind of dating where we are. But the experience is someone sets up an appointment. There's no walk-ins. Everything's appointment-based. So everybody can have my full attention or one of my clothier's full attentions. And we sit down, we go through fabrics. While they're going through fabrics, we offer them refreshments, whatever they're looking for. And we decide which fabric is good for whatever occasion or if they're just doing something for their closet. And then we build the suit together. And in that process of building the suit, I kind of teach them about suits. I teach them about like the shawl lapel, the notch lapel, peak lapel, pick stitch, patch pockets, double bassin pockets, slanted pockets, and just teaching them just the process of what actually is inside of a suit, from floating canvases to half canvas to fused. And we don't do fused. We will if you ask, but anyways, we pretty much go through this process and teach them so when they walk away, they know what they're getting. And if they go anywhere else, they know what that they'll be looking for, right?
Right.
And then after we build the suit, we take measurements.
See, I would be so overwhelmed with all those options. It's like a menu. I don't know where to start. Like, what's your recommendation?
So yeah, and it's like that sometimes. So some clients, they are really willing to jump in and kind of learn everything,
Right.
or try to be as much a part of the experience as possible. And then some people are just like, Frank, just build me something. Just put it together. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever you do. So that's what we do. But I still want them to be a part of it, because the suit is it's supposed to be personal. So it's supposed to be a part of you. From the lining to the every choice, the stitch color, everything is supposed to be about who you are and you expressing yourself, and then stepping out a little bit. So I try not to take over completely, but I try to make sure that they walk away appreciating what the piece that they got.
So now I know you say you started as a rapper and you transitioned into the fashion world in an untraditional way. So how was the driving force between the transition? Was it hard? Because now you do a lot of partnerships with a lot of major companies. Yeah, he just did a partnership with Ciroc. Like, anybody can get on a Diddy level. You doing something great out here. So how is that whole process as an influencer being?
So the influencer thing is interesting. So that came out of nowhere too. So my whole thing, my entire life has been about branding, right?
Right.
So from 2002, when I came out with Quite Frank as my rap name, I was just like, I got to create a brand. So from MySpace, when I started doing MySpace, which is
the top 5.
Yeah, I'm dating myself. MySpace and just building, and then going to Twitter, I kept Quite Frank on everything.
Right.
Because I understood the brand is super important. Like, whenever you're doing anything, you're creating a brand, and that brand should follow you through whatever stage you go through in life, right?
Right.
And so it was one of those, the transition from rap to fashion was super easy, because when I was rapping, I was spending shit. Can I cuss? I don't know.
Hey.
No.
It's we in your house.
Okay. When I was rapping, I was spending a shoot load of money. I'm trying to keep it clean for you. A lot of money on production and beats and getting the rights and copyright and all this other stuff. And so more money was going out than what was ever coming in. But when I moved to fashion and I started doing this, more money was coming in than what was going out. And it became an easy transition just because life was pushing me toward that. And God was actually moving me more toward fashion than music in general. My whole life surrounding it just became
the bearded bandit.
Yeah, that too. So the beard thing came in, but influencing became a part of the branding of Quite Frank, right?
Right.
So when I was always branding myself, I started hanging with certain people who were doing partnerships with, like, IW Harper, which is a whiskey company, and then also doing Tanqueray, and then doing just all these different companies, Mazda and Alexis and Volvo. When they were doing these things, I was kind of just shadowing them. And then one day I just started getting emails from companies and were like, hey, can you brand our stuff too? So with that, it just naturally happened. Everything just naturally flowed. So I started working with people like Mazda and Absolute and McDonald's and Ciroc and Gillette and Dove and a whole bunch of different companies. So everything just happened from me continuing to brand who Quite Frank is.
Now, as a rapper starting out again, and now you being this world-renowned international, I would say international fashion influencer, like, what was it about fashion that sparked your interest early on? Because I'm sure, was it before rap? Did you always know this is who you will be today?
Yeah, so voted best dress. And then as a little boy, my parents, even though they did a lot of thrift store shopping, they still kept me in some interesting clothes. Like, I used to wear Christian Dior for pictures, school pictures, at the age of like 11 and 12, and just all these different items that just came out of nowhere. I've always worn Polo and Ralph Lauren. And not just Polo, but Ralph Lauren and the colors like black and green. But they were just thrift store shopping, and they kind of put me into that lane of just being able to put things together. So fashion has just always been my thing. I wore suits in high school. because I was
most likely to succeed.
No. I didn't get that at all because, I wouldn't know. But Distinguished Gentlemen was an organization we had in high school, and every Tuesday we wore suits. So that's kind of how we rolled, and it just became the thing. It was comfortable for me.
Yeah, I see you do a lot of a large male movement with like the suits, Black Lives Matter, Black Boys Joy, a lot of new trends, and like you say, you would do thrifting. Thrifting is a whole new trend now. It's like, it's okay to thrift.
Right.
So what do you think it is that has changed over the fashion over the years? I know a lot of people say it's in full circle, but how do you see it right now from your eye?
So I feel like, I don't know, it's interesting because it seems like my circle has changed quite a bit as I've gotten older, because I am approaching 40. But I know. But what I've noticed is it's just black men have just really always been about fashion. We've just always been about looking good, regardless of what that looks like. So whether it's urban gear or suits or just attire, but suits has just really moved in as a thing to do. And suits became what I've heard, like the lingerie for women. Like when women wear sexy stuff, like men in suits is sexy. So majority of the time, if you just know us, we dress nice for girls, for women. That's just what we've always done naturally. So I think that's part of the push, because suits has just been that thing that's really, we're getting older, suits look good, and people really feeling what we're doing. But it's also, Black menswear has been doing this flash mob thing, pushing for Black men to be in suits and just look, I don't know, more distinguished, I guess, but not taking away from the fact that every Black man can still be honorable, be a good man, or be whatever outside of a suit, but just showing that we do have the capability of doing both. So I think the movement is just showing that we have versatility in both lanes.
Now, speaking about versatility, you deal with a lot of clients, which means a lot of personalities. How do you actually deal with clients that's not so comfortable with stepping out of their zone with certain textures and colors? Because I know a lot of times nowadays, for men, we will wear out-the-box colors, where back in the day where pink wasn't cool, I will wear pink. So like, how do you deal with people like that?
So honestly, I always push for people to just be themselves, right? So with that, when you're pushing people to just be comfortable in who they are, I'm touching the mic, comfortable in being who they are, you try not to veer them too much out of their lane. So if a man says, I just really like brown and gray and blue suits, I keep them in that same lane of doing brown and blue and gray suits. The push becomes, so first I move them toward doing something exciting in their lining, the inside of their jacket. Because if I can get them to start opening up in the inside, then we can start getting them to try more things on the outside. So it's a gradual walk with people, but I try not to make them feel uncomfortable, because clients feel better and are willing to listen and to do more when they feel comfortable. That's just not clients, it's even everybody. But yeah.
Now I like what you said about, because people always say beauty is within skin deep. So with you adjusting it with the lining to the outside of the suit, that's a whole new perspective on how to look at it, which I've never even thought about it like that. So what do you say the ultimate driving force behind the Quite Frank Moss brand has been?
The driving force? Honestly, just to do me. I don't even know if that even makes sense. Does that make sense? You stand in your own lane. Yeah. And I say that because, like I said, I've always branded Quite Frank, and my purpose was to get paid just being me, right? Right. And so that goes for influencing, because I only like brand things that I actually like for the most part. Right. And so that's what I've done. I've just been me, tried to keep me consistent. I love fashion, so try to stay in that lane. I will love my community, so I try to do things that deal with bettering my own community. And so my whole push has been stay who I am, try to be consistent in who I am, build relationships. Then building relationships, you just get business. And I always feel like I'm not making sense sometimes, but I say that because if you're a client of mine and we're doing this consultation, we're walking through everything, but we're relating and having a real conversation, and we build this relationship. Not only do you return to me, but you bring more people because you felt comfortable. So that's my whole brand, is just making people feel comfortable in achieving and successful in it. Yeah.
Okay, so before we check out, now speaking about community which equals family, I know you do a lot of things with your boys. How do you think you have influenced them in their fashion at such an early age?
My youngest boys, I don't feel like I've influenced them at all.
Really?
Yeah. They look like that, and they look confident and stuff just because that's just who they are. But they don't like suits. Micah, my oldest, he doesn't like suits. He's 11. My oldest named Micah. He likes sports clothes. Like, he wears air dry clothes. He wears jerseys to sleep. He wears basketball shorts at home. Like, his choice is to wear sweats and flip flops.
He wants to be comfortable
all the time. But okay. So in a sense, my whole brand is also about comfort too. So I want, when you put on a suit, I want it to feel comfortable. Like, we only sell and make loafers because loafers are slip-in shoes. They're comfortable.
Right.
So that's the whole purpose, is being comfortable. So maybe I have influenced them. I don't know. Hadn't thought about it.
Hey, I told y'all we bring some of the best exclusive interviews with the industry's best. You know what I'm saying? We're here at Franklin Anthony.
Can I say something? Okay. So, internationally, I do want to say that we do something that nobody else in the world does. So we work with someone called Sunflower Man, who is an artist who lives here locally, but he's from all over the world. He has art in the First Opera House. He has art in Caesar's Palace, in GM. He's part of the Balenciaga exhibit. He does all these amazing things, right? But me and him, we do this illustration of being able to take his art and put it on linings, put it on fabrics, put it on pocket squares. And so with that, we're able to create like one-of-a-kind pieces, right?
Right.
So here's an example.
Just pop it out on us.
Oh yeah, well. So this is my pocket square, but.
Man, so I'm serious, man.
So he drew this while we were in Florence, Italy. I don't know, we were in Florence, we're not Milan. We were in Florence, and I was trying on his jacket, and he was just like staying right there, and he started drawing it.
So is he like the creator of that piece?
Yes,
right
he created this too. This piece here.
He just dope. He's just dope.
For sure. So that's it. That's all I was gonna say.
So make sure you tell everybody where they can follow you.
Yeah, okay. Well, shoot. If you would like to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram, Quite_Frank. You can follow me on Twitter, Quite Frank. You can follow me on Facebook, Quite Frank. Because I keep it consistent. You can check out our website at www.franklinanthony.com. You can find us on Instagram at Franklin Anthony. You can find us on Twitter at F&A Customs.
All platforms, man.
Yeah.
So we checking out. You already heard it here first. All the way from Fort Worth, Texas, my city. Got people that's doing it great. Don't forget.
This is Frank Moss, and you were just tuned in to the man behind the brand.